Hey everybody, this is Brett, and today I want to talk about the holistic reality of war. And I know that sounds kind of obscure, but war is a reality in this world. Now, there are a lot of people that are against war because it's not a very pleasant thing. But the truth of the matter is that we have a planet called Mars, which is the red planet of war, the masculine, aggression, etc. We also have a planet called Saturn, which is the planet of restrictions and laws and rules and regulations. And those planets are in oftentimes a direct conflict with Venus, the planet of love and art and music and joy, etc., and Uranus, the planet of society and the anti-planet against the rules and regulations. It's all about freedom and stuff like that. And so God created all the planets, right? And so there must be a purpose for all of them. But some people on the left, they refuse to acknowledge that there's a purpose for the planet Mars and Saturn. And some people on the right, they refuse to acknowledge the purpose of Venus and Uranus. And that's because their charts, if you looked at them, were predominantly geared towards their particular preferences. Okay? And if you look at a person's face, you can often tell how they are. If you look at their apartments or their houses or their yards or their cars, all these different things, you can tell how they are. And Libra, the sign of balance, the twins, is, and I'm mixing astrology in here so that you can learn a little bit about that. But it's always looking at both sides of the equation. Okay, and I've always been like that because I have Mars in the sign of Libra. And so my aggressiveness nature about me looks at all sides of the equation. And so I'm a centrist politically and in many, many things. Not just politically, like I love balance. I love balance. And balance is where it's at. And in our world, you can have a lot of things. There are a lot of things that are out of balance. And if a liberal, a very, very liberal person, has a criminal break into their house in the middle of the night to try and kill them with a gun, that person will be very grateful if a police officer comes in and shoots that person dead. Even though they're not for aggression, they'll be really happy when their own lives get saved by aggression. Okay? So it's pretty much simple as that, but it's not, because you see, there can be not just a criminal that's out of balance and whacked in their mind, but you can have a whole country or a country that's ruled by a mafioso criminal government in which thousands of people are involved in being the criminals, doing something unethical to their fellow countrymen. I'm talking specifically about Iran and Russia, North Korea, and other communist criminal entities. Okay, and so in our world, whenever there's something that's out of balance, and I'm not just talking about countries, I'm talking about smaller groups here in America. When there are these, you could just generalize all of them as extremists. Anything that's extreme will eventually get cut off and destroyed, dismantled, thrown in jail, whatever. That's the general rule. The extreme things are going to leave. So all you have to do is look around you in your own life, in the world around you, and over time, the bing boing, bing boing, bing boing activity between left and right, yin and yang, hot and cold, male and female, etc. The polarity of all things that are going on in your world will gradually move towards the center where God is and there's absolute peace. And all of the things that are extreme and towards the outside get dismantled and destroyed. So on that note, I think that's all I really have to say. That pretty much sums it up. You can visualize all of the extreme things, people, everything, that nature and God is going to take care of in the future.